Good day everyone, we are the Group 6 from STEM 11 Einstein, and we are here to present to you our research. To start our presentation, let me introduce to you first our group. I am Jongyum Amrahensha, and here are my co-researchers. Angelo Lasso, Noeli De Luna, Melanie Panoy, and Marel Rogelio. And we will be your presenters for today. The researchers' study entitled Grade 11 Students' Opinion about Wearing School Uniform as a Requirement has the main objective, number 1, to know the opinions of grade 11 students regarding mandatory wearing of school uniform being a requirement in school. Number 2, to ascertain how the students will respond to the said requirements. The primary focus of this study is on the opinions of students in grade 11 who are required to wear uniforms. The research tried to address the following relevant questions. Number 1. Are students favor or oppose wearing school uniform? Number 2. Does wearing school uniform have an effect on students' behavior? Number 3. How effective is the policy on wearing school uniform code? The researchers choose
Significance of the study. The beneficial of this study can help in school administrator to know the wants and don'ts of grade 11 student regarding the implementation of wearing school uniform. To teacher, this study can help the instructor to guide the proper attire at school premises. And also to grade 11 student, this study can help the grade 11 students to have a freedom to tell their insight about the implementation of school uniform. To future researcher, this study can help to serve as references materials for the related study to provide more depth view of topic wearing school uniform.
Synthesis is the researchers come to the conclusion that the policy of wearing a school uniform has an influence on students' viewpoints. According to studies, wearing a school uniform improves behavior, breaks down social barriers, and reduces bullying incidents. The researchers discovered relevant studies that address students' views on the introduction of uniforms in school, that aforementioned RRL assists the researchers in having the foundation and the necessary for this inquiry. Research design is the researchers employed a phenomenological qualitative approach which investigate an experience and which this method will help the researchers to answer the SOP.
The study was conducted in the province of Marinduque, specifically in the Landi National High School. This study considered the 20 selected students of the school as the respondents of the study. Research instrument. To easily gather the data needed despite the pandemic crisis, the researcher used interview. The researcher strictly follow the implementation of health and safety protocol. For the face-to-face in-depth individual interview season, a semi-structured interview schedule was created. The interview schedule was researcher-made and was approved by the researcher advisor and validated by the English expert before to verify the content and appropriateness of the interview question dissemination.
The researchers were guided by the principle in their research design and practices. These are the following. First, the researcher asked for the permission of the school principal in the conduct of the study. Second, the researchers seek for the parents' consent of the participant. And last, the data and information gathered by the researchers about the participants and their response were kept confidential following the data privacy.
The researchers chose this study because wearing of a school uniform is still a current issue at their school, and conducting the research may help the administrators what to do based on what the students' opinion or perspective about this. And it is also a gateway to express a student's opinion without being afraid to say what they want. Chapter 4: Presentation, Analysis, and Interpretation of Data. This qualitative case study examined the different perception of 5 senior high school students in Dundee National High School in wearing school uniform as a requirement. The preceding section provides essential principle as well as significant subject, with my co-researchers gave each of 5 participants in the study plenty of time to respond to his/her interview questions. The in-depth interview lasted 1 hour and covered the essential of perception about wearing school uniform as a requirement. Table 1. Are students favor or oppose wearing school uniforms? Wearing school uniform builds a sense of team and community spirit from an early age. School uniforms enhance the level of respect for the school they belong to. It also fosters teamwork in their attitudes as they prepare to face future challenges. And implementing school uniforms has benefits for students and the school, like improved safety. School uniforms can make it easier to identify outsiders on campus and can make students less likely to be targeted by bullies or gang members. Increased sense of unity, pride. Wearing school uniform can provide a sense of belonging and pride in one's school, which can lead to improved student behavior and a better school climate. And improved attendance and academics. Students who wear school uniform tend to have better attendance, higher graduate rates, and improved academic performance. Respondents answer. To that, student will be more formal and will treat every student equally. It helps students to act accordingly as they represent the school. They are more aware of their behavior as part of painting the school of good name. Because apart from IDs, the uniform also gave identity to a school. It looks formal for a student because you don't have spend more time thinking what you are going to wear for a certain day. Wearing school uniform can give students a sense of belonging to a particular school and create identity for school and community. The majority of participants agree that instituting uniforms can be beneficial and have a positive impact on students in school. School clothes develop a good character, improving behavior and level of respect. It does not need to implement in mandatory because rest of the students don't have enough money to buy uniform. For me, it is not necessary to wear school uniform for giving school a good image by simply carrying morality upright. These are reasons why students may oppose the implementation of school uniform. They may also argue that uniforms are costly and may not be affordable for families with financial constraints. Additionally, some students may feel that their uniforms are uncomfortable or that they are not allowed to wear clothes that they like. In some cases, students may also see it as an infringement on their freedom. Another concern is that uniforms don't address the underlying problem of bullying or make it worse.
Table 2. Effect of wearing school uniform on students' behavior. Implementing school uniform had a positive effect on students' behavior and gave the school a good image, according to this study, and they also look presentable. Wearing a school uniform is significant for school development. Based on the interview that we conducted, it has been revealed that wearing school uniform is important because it gives a good image and has a positive impact on students. There's evidence that school uniform remedy behavior when we wear uniform clothing with specific meaning. This clothing can influence the psychological state. According to the respond, as a student, it improved my behavior and I more become aware of my actions. Wearing the uniform gives me sense of confidence and remind me to be responsible in everything. Uniform can make a student more aware of what they are doing and what they should be doing, which explain why it has an effect on their behavior. Moreover, it taught me more about how they should act to show their respect for the value of uniform.
In Table 3, wearing a uniform reduces absenteeism, increases school attendance, encourages students to focus on their studies, and instill a great deal of discipline, focus, and good behavior. Most importantly, wearing a uniform promotes discipline and gives students a sense of identity. Uniform clothing could help the student to encourage disciplined behavior and responsibilities. They increases a sense of unity and pride, which improve your performance as a student. Maybe, though they were the same uniform for a specific school, but it differ on how they dress when it comes to individual identity. Yes, it imposed an individual identity, and the student uniform is also symbolize the status of student, grade level, so by this we can easily recognize them who they are. Yes, because by wearing school uniform, you can be identified as a student of the certain school. Yes, because I gain self-confidence and learn it to socialize with other people. The response above revealed that the uniform policy at Landi National High School has encouraged professionalism in students. The table focuses on individual students' identities. It increased their self-esteem and encouraged them to level up more. The outcome demonstrates that school uniforms are important in all situations.
Summary of findings. In this regard, studies are advised to highlight the importance and necessity of wearing uniform because it improves student productivity and discipline. It would be best if the school strictly enforced this because, as many students agree, it improves the reputation of the school as well as the student who are going to get reputation for their education plus the ability to pick up better prospect in the future. Future school uniform must be reasonably priced for students, especially those with precarious financial resource, so that they can maintain themselves and adhere to a school uniform policy for the benefit of both the wearer and the student. School and authorities must be considered for individuals who are financially unable. The government can offer us a budget.
The study conclusion was the student attitude are reflected in their choice to wear the school uniform, which also has significant advantages for graduates, notably in terms of safety. The researchers also found that there is no statistically significant relationship between the percentage of pupils who wear the school uniform and the level of students' knowledge of the importance of doing so. The school uniform helped to further expand the sense of community within the school and while also increase the esteem of each young student and improve their personality by wearing school uniforms. It also enhances the school image and our bodies because the children's uniform and wearing them and they look clean. And both the school and the children have benefited from wearing school uniforms. As a result, the study's researchers come to the conclusion that the students' daily lives at school are significantly influenced by the school uniform. It affects their performance in the reputation of the school in terms of students' discipline. Among grade 11 STEM students, the school reputation for severe enforcement of school rules, particularly with regard to school attire and reflected in the students' proper adherence to required uniform.
The researcher recommends for the further research about the attitude of the learners towards school uniform. And they might use finding of this research as reference point for their own work related to this and other relevant topic. Since this study highlight that wearing a school uniform have an effect on students. Parents should encourage their children to wear the school uniform because it considerably increases the safety of the student. And there are several potential benefits when they wear uniforms, like encouraging discipline and positive perceptions. Students' awareness on school uniform benefits. If learners still have a school uniform, the researcher encouraged the learners to wear their uniform because that is for their own good. It can have a positive impact on you, such as an increased sense of unity and pride, as well as students who appear formally and presentable.